Well, welcome everybody to a very special episode of Dog Turds into Diamonds here with AFC Rushden and Diamonds. We are getting into pre-season for season 10, and today we are going to do a transfer special. It's something that I haven't really done during this save, but I thought now as we go up to League One, we can start to get a better quality of player. We can hopefully carry on our form and do back-to-back promotions. I thought it would be a good time to really have a look and see how we're trying to put this squad together. You can see it's the 19th of June 2030. We've got around about 10 days to go, a little bit more, 2 weeks, before a lot of players that we have on our transfer shortlist go out of contract at their clubs. Of course, we've got no money, so we cannot buy any players. We have to deal in the free transfer and loan market. So I think this episode is going to be in two parts. I think first of all, looking at the free transfers once we cross over into July, and then I think after that, once we cross over into the new season, we'll have a look and see what loan players might be available, perhaps some young potential stars available from the Premier League or the Championship. I think that's the most exciting thing for me this season, that perhaps in the loan market we might be able to start to get access to some real next level players that can really push us on. You can see if we look at the finances, I mean, we are 62,000 in debt, and that is after a big League Two solidarity payment came in. That was the big payment from last season that I didn't know exactly what it was. I now know that that was a League Two solidarity payment. And at the time that came in, it pushed us just up into the black again. We were 200,000 in debt at the end of last season. But we are now going down and down again. So unless we can sell a player for big money, it looks like it is going to be a season of financial struggle. You can see our wage budget has gone up to 29,000 a week. We were paying 17,000 a week in League Two this season. It is going up by 12,000, and right now we are spending 22,000. So we've got around about 7,000 to play with, which is a pretty good amount, really. Something I also didn't tell you about in the mid-season review, something that I forgot to mention, is that last season we had two interview offers from Premier League clubs. First of all, Sheffield United offered us an interview, and then Everton, which obviously a huge club. So that's a really good indication of how the game is viewing the job that we've done with AFC Rushden and Diamonds right now. And it kind of makes me think, now I'm coming into season 10. Now, when I last did an AFC Rushden and Diamonds Road to Glory save, it was on Football Manager 2020, and it took me 10 seasons to get to the Premier League. I'm now going into the 10th season, and we're just starting out in League One. So even if we get promotion, I'm still only going to be in the Championship after 10 seasons. And it could then be, because the Championship is such a huge step up, it could then be maybe another 3 or 4 seasons before we could potentially think about getting to the Premier League. So yeah, it's I'm kind of looking at it and thinking, where does this save go now? What I would like to do is kind of really get us established with a good infrastructure, at least in the Championship, and then maybe think about moving on. Get AFC Rushden and Diamonds to a point where they can survive on their own, and then perhaps move on and take one of those big Premier League jobs. But who knows? That's what I'm thinking right now. If we have a look here at if I go to home, let's have a look at AFC Rushden and Diamonds. If we look at facilities, we've just finished upgrading our youth facilities. We've now got below average youth facilities. So maybe one more renewal of that, one more upgrade, and we could have average youth facilities. But we've still not been able to upgrade training facilities. We've still got poor training facilities, the same as when we were in Tier 7. and the same basic academy coaching and the same limited youth recruitment. So right now there is very, very little infrastructure to allow the club to survive if I was to move on. So I would really like during this window perhaps to sell one of our high value players and start upgrading the infrastructure a little bit more. But you can see now we are a club legend, rated alongside Dale Roberts, who the stadium is named after. We are now a club legend, which is great. Demalia Brown-Sterling, still the only icon in our history. And Lee Watkins, Thomas Hughes, and Cameron Garadebo favoured personnel. So that's really nice. Demalia Brown-Sterling, of course, retired a long time ago, but 77 goals in 103 games. And that is just league goals, I think. So, yeah, what a player he was for us, of course, in the early days. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Actually, before I go to tactics, I've just clicked on tactics there. Don't look. I want to show you the transfer history as it stands right now, and then we'll look at what we've possibly got coming in. Now, I have made some transfers which we spoke about at the end of last season. These young players from Liverpool and Chelsea have now come in. Edvin Persson, an 18-year-old Swedish midfielder, looks a very good deep line playmaker, probably League 2 level right now. Great first touch passing and vision. Needs to improve his attacking movement characteristics or qualities. So his anticipation, his decisions, his positioning. But his composure is very good, which is obviously great for a deep line playmaker. So he has now come in. Who else have we got here? So Nonso Chinedo or Chinedu. That's going to be a tough one to say, isn't it? At the moment, I think he's going to be our starting attacking playmaker, number 10, creative player, great dribbling, first touch, passing, and vision, decent decisions. Again, he's only 18. He needs to improve a few things, but I think he looks pretty much League One quality, and hopefully he will improve pretty quickly and really get to grips with this league. Ben House has come in from Liverpool. Right now, I think he is going to be our starting centre forward. 12 finishing and first touch, pretty good. Decent free kick. 14 heading at 6'1", really, really good. And as a target man with that 17 bravery, 16 strength, I think he is going to be really, really effective as the striker. I think he does look like a League One striker, perhaps lacking a little bit technically, but again, only 18. Hopefully he's going to improve. Great anticipation, decent decisions off the ball, great teamwork. I'm excited to see what Ben House can do this season. I really am. Eugenio Moreno. I'm going to call him Eugenio. So he is going to be our new box-to-box midfielder. I'll show you the tactics in a little while, but yeah, he's come in from Liverpool. Again, looks really, really good for 18 years old. That 17 passing is fantastic. If we can improve his vision and just make him that guy that can make that final pass, that would be superb. And with 11 long shots, I'm hoping to see some goals from midfield from the man Moreno this season. Barnabas Mwabwesi, he is not ready for the first team. Again, looks kind of a Van Rama National League quality player, but 18 years old, only £170 a week. Needs to improve his first touch, but he's got good passing, good heading, good tackling. Looks like a really good ball-winning midfielder, decent physically. Got some improvement to do, but £170 a week, a pretty risk-free signing, I think. And Eddie Little, of course, has come in, and I think, again, he looks a great option as the deep line playmaker. Great first touch and passing, good vision, great decisions. Expect this guy to get a lot of games this season. If he was only better at dribbling, he might be a good option as a more advanced playmaker. But I think, yeah, I'm expecting good things from Eddie Little. So those are the players that have come in. If we look at the transfer centre, so these are the ins that we are waiting on right now. We've got Teddy Sharman-Lowe confirmed. He's a goalkeeper coming in from Bournemouth. He's not the greatest, but as a backup goalkeeper, he looks pretty good. If we compare him to Tommy Reid, you can see they've both got certain qualities that are perhaps better than the other. But if we look at the attributes, they're the same technically, the same mentally, and Teddy Sharman-Lowe is a little bit better physically. So I guess, I mean, that they could have a little bit of a contest between them, but he's just a decent enough backup goalkeeper, nothing too exciting. Corey Panther, we have offered a contract to the centre back who can play left back. Again, he looks decent in his marking, heading and tackling, decent physically, decent mentally. Just looks like a solid, sturdy League One centre back, 6'2", 15 jumping reach. I think he fits our profile, and the fact that he can play left back gives a little bit of cover there as well. That's important because Callum Armitage does not want to continue with us. We've offered a contract to João Coutinho just to come in on trial. We can't see anything about him because he's been playing at Inter Miami in the United States. I can't scout over there without paying a lot of money. But we had him on our shortlist previously when he was at Sheffield United. Actually played a game in the Premier League. So he's been playing with Inter Miami Academy, but I've offered him to come in on trial. He is out of contract at Inter Miami Academy. I'm going to have a look and see why I put him on the shortlist, see if he might be someone worth going for, another attacking playmaker. And the last one here, I've made an offer, 1,600 a week, which puts him right up there with our top earners. Stian Danielson. This is a player at Bristol City who I have had my eye on for a while. I tried to get him in on loan. He didn't want to come. If we look at his history, he's generated at Bristol City, has played some games in the Premier League and the Championship, had a little loan at Carlisle in League One a few years ago. But he's got 15 acceleration and 12 pace, so very, very quick. Really good balance as well. Decent finishing and first touch. Good heading. Well, it's not great heading actually, is it? But acceptable. Good passing though for linking the play up. Great off the ball. Great composure. Decent enough anticipation and decisions. Just with his pace, just looks like a decent advance forward who could hopefully score a few goals in League One. So those are the potential deals that we are waiting on right now, and the players that we've confirmed. And with all that, this is how the team looks right now. I would still love to get a new goalkeeper in. Louise and Simpson are the only defenders I'm confirming. I'm waiting to see if we can get a next level League One centre back in, and I really want a left back. Rossiter and Moreno, I'm looking at being the ball winning midfielder and the box to box midfielder with Chinedu as the number 10. I want two wingers, and right now Ben House is my starting striker. We've got to see if that is how we start the season. If I can get a next level striker in, perhaps on loan from a Championship or Premier League club, we'll certainly go with that. Right now, Tommy Reid on the bench. He may well end up being the starting goalkeeper again this season. On the bench, we've got Lamine Sharif, Hordegaard, McKenzie. So we're well stocked in our backup defenders. And I want to put, where is he? Let's have a look. Carl Drakes, who is still out on loan in the National League. He is going to be my backup left back. So I'm going to put him in there on the bench. I think he is good enough to now be the backup left back for us. He's improved really well at Worthing in the National League. Developing nicely. Probably still a little bit below League One level, but I think he's good enough to start getting a few games as the backup. So I'm putting him in there in the squad. You can see my bench is full. So it's really only first team players that I'm looking at. Malicio, Eddie Little and Schofield has signed for another year on loan. Bristol City gave him another year's contract. He developed really well last season. I've got him in on loan for nothing. So a really, really easy loan to confirm. We've got him for another season. Is he a League One level deep line playmaker? I don't know, but he's in, and if he doesn't play, it hasn't cost us anything. So we'll see how Gavin Schofield goes this season. Joe Evans, Robinson, Ethan Varian, and McFadden has also signed for another season. £300 a week from Middlesbrough. He developed pretty well through this season and scored 22 goals. Now, can he now continue to develop and make that step up to become a League One striker? Now, if we compare him to Stian Danielson, they are the same technically, the same mentally, and Danielson is just a little bit better physically. So they're pretty similar. They're both 5'8" as well. They're very similar players. McFadden can dribble, while Stian Danielson has got a better first touch and is a little bit quicker. So those are really the only differences between them. Danielson also very brave and with a lot more flair. So yeah, two good strikers to have in the squad. But that is how we're looking. So Sarula is going to leave. Mubama, I'm not going to renew his contract. Wickens is going to leave, the goalkeeper. Joshua Duffus, I have offered up. He is wanted by Dagenham and Redbridge on loan. I've offered him out for 30,000. His value was up to 100,000 supposedly, but nobody wanted to take him for that. I've offered him out for 30,000. We'll see if we can move him on. Joshua Duffus, a real legend, but yeah, he's definitely not good enough for League One. So we're going to see if we can move him on, at least on loan if we have to, for the last year of his contract. We'll see what happens with that. Pablo Martinez is also out on loan for the last year of his contract. Dagenham and Redbridge have renewed that, which is good to get his 450 a week off of the books. Thomas Hughes is going out of contract. A salute to a club legend. He was absolutely integral in our rise up the leagues. He's had a really good season on loan at Gateshead. 10 goals and 14 assists in, I think it's Vanarama North. It is, and really that's his level now. Vanarama North is where he can be that standout playmaker. But what a career he had with us. He's been with us for 7 seasons. Look, 7. Well, actually 8 seasons when you count the previous season that he's had out on loan. So yeah, that's a hell of a career that Thomas Hughes has had with us. Definitely deserves to be counted as one of our greatest ever players. But it is now time for Thomas Hughes to move on. Who else have we got here? Vols, I'm not going to renew his loan. Sheringham, I'm not going to renew his loan. And unfortunately, Callum Armitage did not want to renew his loan. He is going back to Huddersfield. We did have a deal struck with Huddersfield. Callum Armitage wasn't interested. So, yeah, with that, Drakes becomes the backup midfielder. Other players that are leaving, Shay Marsh is going to leave. He's out of contract, doesn't want to renew. Not too worried about that. Had a good season, but we'll say goodbye. And Lee Watkins, we still can't get his loan renewed. Birmingham want him to play at a higher level. Once we turn over into the new season, and perhaps the game recognises us as a League One club, maybe we'll be able to get him again, the League Two Player of the Year. It would be great to have him in again, but we'll see what happens there. Dowling and McHale and Agyapong, the captain, right now I have outside of the squad. I just feel like we've got better options now. So that's where we are. A quick recap of everything there. Well, not that quick, but yeah, basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head forward to the start of July, see which players are out of contract that we might be able to put an offer in on, and we'll see what business we can do. I'll be back to tell you all about it. All right, well, it is the 1st of July. The players have just got back for pre-season training. You can see we've got Hearts coming up in 12 days for the first of our pre-season friendly fixtures. I don't know. I don't know if we've gone away anywhere this year. Last year, very strangely, I never mentioned it at the time, but very strangely, we went away last year to Nottingham for a pre-season training camp. Now, if you don't know your geography, Nottingham is about 45 minutes up the M1 from Rushden. So, for some reason last season, I'm a poet and I don't even know it. We went 45 minutes up the M1, stayed in Nottingham, took the players away from their families for 3 weeks for the sake of a 45-minute journey. I don't think we have gone away anywhere this season, but yeah, you can see we've got some friendlies set up. Hearts at home, Tamworth away, Arsenal's under 23s, which should be pretty good. Southend away, Swindon at home. Southend and Swindon, I'm sure, are both still League One teams, so a bit odd that we're playing League One teams in pre-season, but okay. So what has been going on? If we go and have a look at transfers, we have had those 2 new signings come in, and you can probably see there on the screen a little bit of what's been happening over the last week while I've just been getting to this point. So Teddy Sharman-Lowe has come in from Bournemouth after he was released at the end of his contract. 27-year-old goalkeeper, just a really well-rounded goalkeeper. I think he's a good backup, but someone who also possibly has the ability to be the first choice goalkeeper. We've also got Stian Danielson. He's come in after being released by Bristol City. Pacey front man. And I'm actually thinking, with that passing ability there, maybe he could be an inside forward on the left. He can play inside forward on the right. I'm thinking I might train him. With him being a right footer, I might train him to play inside forward on the left, cutting in there. And that would then maybe solve the problem of one of my wide positions. So really pleased to have Stian Danielson in the squad. I think he is going to do really well in League One. Let's put him in there for now. Whoa. Let's put him in here on the left. Where are we? Stian Danielson. Yeah, he's not going to come up as an option there, is he? Because he can't naturally play that position right now. So I'm going to pull Stian Danielson up there, put him in on the left. And you can see that basically here we are, 1st of July, this is the situation. So we're looking for at least a right winger. I would like someone that can maybe play both wings. A left back and definitely a centre back. Lee Watkins has gone back to Birmingham, and there is still no interest from Birmingham in sending him back on loan to us in League One. The League Two player of the season, of course. So I've got to look at options there. Now, I've got a bunch of green players here in on trial, as you can see. João Coutinho that we spoke about, yeah, he's got some decent things about him. A good first touch, great free kick, good flair. I don't think he's really a League One attacking midfielder. I think he looks more a League Two player to me, so I don't think we're going to go through with João Coutinho as a signing option. Lanzillotta is a goalkeeper that was released by Nottingham Forest. He looks like he's got some decent things about him. I need to learn a little bit more, so he's in on trial. Looking at these attributes, by the way, I have actually just confirmed that this season we are, for the first time in our 9-year history, we are going to have a scouting package. I'm paying for the English scouting package, which is, I think, just short of £15,000 a month. I was a little bit confused because in 9 years our scouting budget has never gone up. It's always been 38,000, and I always read that as being 38,000 for the year. And the England scouting package costs a little bit short of 15,000 a month. So I'm a little bit worried that in 3 months my entire scouting budget could be gone. But it just seemed really strange to me that the scouting budget has never gone up. So I don't know if that 38,000 is actually a month. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. It might be an absolutely disastrous move because I might end up not being able to scout players after just a couple of months of the season. So we'll see what happens there. But I was getting really fed up of not being able to see any player attributes when I looked at players and free agents. So I've shelled out for a scouting package. We'll see what happens there. If we go back to transfers, so sorry, just to finish here, yeah. So the winger, definite left back, definite centre back, and ideally a top class goalkeeper. If we have a look at transfers here, now first of all on the outs, Igor Luiz, Callum Simpson, they have had lots of interest in them, but as you can see, Nottingham Forest were only prepared to offer $250,000 for Igor Luiz. He has a minimum fee release clause of 5 million. Sorry, I was going to say 500,000. Minimum fee release clause of 5 million. So obviously I am only going to let him go for life-changing money. He's reacted well to not having that offer accepted. And the same with Callum Simpson. He's got a 3.5 million release clause, and Derby County are offering less than 300,000. So again, he doesn't seem too upset about it, or does he? Let's have a look at his negatives. Yeah, so he's not got a problem with the actual transfer situation, but he's wanted by Derby and by West Brom. So these are championship clubs showing a lot of interest in these guys. I would only let them go for life-changing money that can sort out our finances and pay to improve the training facilities, maybe bring some transfers in. So yeah, that's the situation there. Now I've offered all of these players in on trial. In terms of the centre back, I want to show you Eli Campbell. Now I did have him in on trial before, and I decided not to sign him. I might change my mind on that. You can't see it here because he's just come back in on trial, but his acceleration and pace are absolutely ridiculous. I seem to remember him having maybe 18 acceleration and 19 pace. He's got world-class pace. He's not bad mentally, and he's kind of average, kind of League Two level technically, but with that pace, I think he could be absolutely phenomenal. I think that could be a real difference maker. So we're going to see maybe about signing Eli Campbell. With the fact we can't get Lee Watkins back in, I've got a few defenders here to look at. You can see. Oh, there you go. That'll teach me for waving the cursor around. Let's go back to transfers. Yeah. So there's a few defenders there. Ellis Chapman coming in at left back on trial. We've got all these positions here. We've got some wingers here. These are all guys that were on my shortlist and are now out of contract. Again, I can only look at out of contract players. So I've tried to kind of look at the positions I need players in. Just going to get them in on trial, see if any of them are the man. I think my transfer strategy is going to be in two pieces. Now on the 1st of July, I'm looking at those players that are out of contract and available for free. And then what I will do when we turn over into the new season, I'll then look at what wingers, forwards, what players might be available on loan from Premier League and Championship clubs, just to see if we can see that next big thing, that next huge prospect that's probably a little bit above League One level, and see if we can get him in on loan, a real difference maker that we couldn't otherwise afford. So that's my strategy going forward. Also want to show you just a couple of players. If we look at Charlton Athletics squad, now my preferred left back option would actually be a player that is currently at Charlton, but he is out of contract. Dylan Jones, he's out of contract, but he hasn't left the club. As long as he stays at the club, if I try to get him, I have to pay, I think it's 875,000 compensation, which obviously we cannot afford. Now, I think he looks a fantastic League One left back, good at free kicks, great dribbling and crossing, really good marking and tackling, decent passer. Mentally looks superb. Physically looks superb. This is the guy that I want, but I'm going to declare interest and see if I can just convince him to just leave the club. I'm going to offer him a trial as well. Can I convince Dylan Jones to leave Charlton? As soon as he leaves, there is no compensation to pay. So I'm waiting on what Dylan wants to do there. You can see I've got a few other Charlton players on my radar there on the shortlist. So that is Dylan. Now, if I just go to League 2 as well, I want to show you another player I'm looking at, but this one, well, not the Vanarama National League. This one really depends on us getting some money in. You can see there, Lee Watkins, the highest rated player in the league. Marco Di Benedetto of Notts County. Notts County finished in the bottom half of League 2. Look at this guy for a League 2 goalkeeper, 20 years old. He's still got a year on his contract at Notts County. I'm going to ask how much they would want for him. Let's make an inquiry. I need money. I need to sell Simpson or Louise for that huge amount of money to be able to afford this guy. But he looks to me like a potential Premier League goalkeeper. 14 aerial reach, 13 command of area. Oh, there you go. Just because it is an episode of Dog Turns into Diamonds, we'll have the dog barking in the background. Hopefully she shuts up pretty quick. 16 handling, 16 kicking, 14 one-on-ones, 15 reflex. This guy is a potential international footballer and Premier League goalkeeper, I think. He is absolutely sensational. He's also physically got great agility, balance and jumping reach. He's so far above a League 2 goalkeeper. It's unreal. So if I get some money in, this is the guy I'm going to bid for. He looks absolutely incredible. I mean, that would be the dream to get hold of him. We'll see what happens with Marco Di Benedetto. But otherwise, we are maybe looking for a loanee goalkeeper, another good level goalkeeper that maybe is not going to get in at a Championship or Premier League club. Yeah, let's try and put the pressure on Dylan Jones to leave Charlton and see if we can get him in on a free. So we've just started pre-season. Look, I've actually got to set up the training. I don't want the generic training. I'm going to do that now. There you go. So Dylan Jones, Charlton have accepted the trial offer. I just want to get that pressure on and see if he'll just leave his contract there. Arvias is another goalkeeper. Yeah, he doesn't look exceptional, does he? I think he's just left Liverpool. No, he's left Bristol City. Doesn't look exceptional. I had him on the radar, but I'm not going to worry about that. So yeah, I'm going to move on now. I will let you know. We will come back as soon as there's any movement on the transfer front. But for now, that's everything that's happening. Let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks in this first phase of my big transfer plan. Well, the first movement of the summer so far is Derby County have made a £1.3 million offer for Callum Simpson. There's also a friendly thrown in there, which I guess is going to be worth about another 60,000-70,000 and 30% of any future profit. Now, I think they offered originally 1.2 million. We asked the board to renegotiate, and it's up to 1.3 million. And as you can see here, they are offering us the opportunity to loan him back for the season, which is fantastic. So I'm going to accept that. I'm sure he'll go to Derby and take that chance to go to Championship football in the future. Are Derby in the Championship, or have they gone up to the Premier League? They're in the Championship. And Javier Aguirre is their manager. That's a little bit of an odd one. Look, there you go. Javier Aguirre is the manager of Derby County in the Championship, the Mexican coach. Although I'm really sad to lose him, it's great that we get him back for the season and with no wage contribution. and that 1.3 million, we're going to get 80,000 of it. We're going to get 80,000 of it for transfers, which I would like to see if that can work to bring in the Notts County goalkeeper. If we just go down to League Two, yeah. So if we can use that, where on earth is he? Marco Di Benedetto, the Italian. Did he generate at Notts County? He generated at Inter and went to Notts County on a free. That is the most random thing I've ever seen. He played a Serie A game and then went to Notts County in League Two. Yeah, that's extremely odd. Now his value is between 65,000 and 650,000. So I'm pretty sure 80,000 is not going to be enough to get him. But I mean, we'll at least see if we can tempt Notts County to sell. But yeah, there you go. That's the situation right now. Callum Simpson on the verge of signing for Derby. So I'll carry on through and I'll let you know when there's more to tell. Well, further update on the Callum Simpson deal. We have had also an offer from Stoke. Now, Derby did actually up their offer from 1.3 to 1.5 million with a 30% profit sell-on clause and a friendly. Stoke then came in with a 1.3 million offer, but with no future clauses, no friendly. So I'm really hoping that Callum Simpson decides to join Derby. I wasn't able to have any influence on the Stoke deal. West Brom are also really interested, so I think there's going to be an offer from them. I'm hoping he chooses Derby at this point, so that we get that friendly and we get that future fee, but also because it's $1 million with $500,000 guaranteed in instalments. So overall, it is the better deal. We'll see what happens with that. Now, I've also made some offers to get some more players in on trial, but also to get some loanees in. And I mean, I'm going to show you those now. I've been looking around some Premier League and Championship clubs in there under 23s, seeing who's available for loan. A lot of them don't want to come to League One. A lot of them are just far too expensive. But Chris Wicks is one that I believe he's going to cost us a little bit over £500 a week. So really good money for League One. And he looks a really, really great right back. Now, obviously, we've got Igor Luiz there, which I guess presents a problem. But it would be two top quality right backs. And I might even think about moving Igor Luiz into the centre back position. I think he's got the quality to do that. But Chris Wicks looks a really, really fine right back for League One level. Really good athletically, really good mentally, and very, very good technically. 14 touch, got a half decent cross, it looks like. Really good marking, passing, and tackling. I think for 500 a week, that looks a really good deal. So Chris Wicks is a loan offer on the table. Joe Jordan from Barnsley is a left winger, and right now I don't know much about him, but again, he would be absolute peanuts. I'm not going to confirm it until I see all of the information about him, but what we can see, I mean, he's a 6'3", really fast winger with a great first touch and really good passing. We don't know much more than that right now, but what I can see looks good, so I just put the deal in. Again, I'm not going to confirm it until I know more about him. I'll keep it on hold. But yeah, that's another one in the works there. And the final one is Christy Irvine of Fulham. Now, he is a striker who, again, looks like he's pretty good in what you want from a striker. Looks like he's got a decent amount of pace, really good mentals, anticipation, composure, decisions, and off the ball for a striker. So he's quick. He's got decent instincts as a striker, and he is also a good finisher who's really good at dribbling, and he takes a really good free kick as well. He's got good technique. So again, I'm going to wait and hold on until I know a little bit more about him. but he looks a very good player as well. Started off at Ross County, went to Palace, then went to Fulham. He's played most of his football. He has played in the Scottish Premiership. But yeah, we'll see what happens with him. And there is one permanent transfer that I'm trying to get done. Jack Nolan. He is a player that I've had on my radar for a long time. He was playing at Oldham in League One. If we just look at his career history. So he's been playing in League One the last couple of years. He hasn't played much at Oldham, which surprises me. But before that, he was playing a lot in League Two for Walsall and in the Vanarama National League for Stockport. So I think it was there at Stockport where I first saw him. But again, he's maybe not got an exceptional quality, but he's a really, really good, well-rounded player. Really well-rounded, technically, mentally, and physically. So I think he's also coming in for about 500 a week. He can play either wing, and he can also play as the number 10. I think he ticks a lot of boxes. He's not going to cost us a lot. So I think Jack Nolan, I am going to get confirmed. That fills one of my forward positions. So we'll see how all that goes. And then it's just going to be a matter of trying to find that left back, centre back, and a goalkeeper. Again, I might be able to live without a goalkeeper, but I really do need that centre back and left back. And I'll just show you what I'm thinking about for the centre back. Now, the really nippy fella who I had an offer in for, he has ended up going to Tranmere. So we've got to forget about him. But if I look on my shortlist and all the unattached players, if I look at central defenders, there is one player here, Gavin Berry, who I had an offer in. I had an offer in on him in pre-season and I cancelled it. But again, I'm thinking I might go through with this now. He's quick, he's 6 foot tall, he's not the best jumper, but mentally he's very good, but got brilliant concentration, anticipation, bravery and aggression. He's very determined, great positioning, good teamwork. And in the bread and butter of central defenders, his heading, marking and tackling is great. With the ball, he's abysmal. But he ticks a lot of boxes. The fact that we can't get Lee Watkins back, I think makes him a lot more attractive. And I think there's another one somewhere I was looking at here. Who was it? Let's have a look. Was it Corey Panther? I think it was. Corey Panther, 29 years old. He can play centre back or left back. And you can see he's a little bit better with the ball than Berry. A little bit worse in those bread and butter central defender traits of the heading, marking and tackling, but he might be a little bit more rounded. He's also pretty quick, 6'2" with great jumping reach now. Mentally maybe not quite as good as Berry. I think if we compare the two, I think looking there, Gavin Berry looks the better defender, but Corey Panther looks like he's got a bit more overall, doesn't he? I think it just depends what you want. If you just want someone to defend, you're probably looking at Gavin Berry. I mean, Gavin Berry is better mentally and he's better physically. But that 15 jumping reach of Corey Panther is really attractive. I don't know. What would you do? What would you do? Mentally and physically, there's no doubt about it, is there? It's Gavin Berry. Physically, I mean, we do like to play a possession game and Gavin Berry just cannot participate in that. He's also younger. What does Corey Panther want to sign? I think I did have a deal with him confirmed for about £500 a week. Let's see what he'll accept. Yeah, I'll play as your no-nonsense centre-back. Let's have a look. Okay, so we need a suggestion. So the suggestion is 575 a week. So he's not going to break the bank either. What does Berry want? Gavin Berry, if we have a look at him, what is he after to sign? I mean, he only wants to be a fringe player, which is great. I probably would start him as our third or fourth choice, but he wants a lot more money. So I think looking at that, I mean, money's not too much of an issue. We've got a lot of flexibility in the finances. We've just gone through to the new season. Loads of players just got their promotion wage increases, and we've still got 8,000 a week to play with. So I don't know what to do. Those look the best two centre-back options right now. It's a difficult one. If I go and look at Birmingham, I'm pretty sure they still don't want to give me Lee Watkins. I saw that was it Colchester who won the Division 2 last season, or League 2 rather. I saw Colchester are interested in him. He's not in the under 23, so is he in with the... So Lee Watkins has been promoted to the first team squad. Colchester want him on loan. And Birmingham are down in League 1, so again they might want to use him. Yeah, so there's no chance of me getting Lee Watkins back. I would imagine he's probably going to play first team football with Birmingham, with them having been relegated. So yeah, I think those look my two best centre-back options at the moment. But I guess I'll have to do a little bit more hunting. So we'll see what happens with Simpson, and we will see what happens in the future in terms of getting a defender in. And I'll also show you that if we go to Charlton, we are still looking at left-back options. It's still been really, really tough to find a good left-back that wants to come to us. And right now, as it stands, okay, has he left? Has he left, or is he in the under 23s? I think he's left. Let's go back to my shortlist and look at left backs. If he has left Charlton and I can get there, Dylan Jones, he's got a little injury, but he is now a free agent. How much does he want to sign? He wants to be a star player, and he wants to treat the club as a stepping stone. I will agree to all of that. He wants 2.4, 2,400 a week. What can I get him down to? To be honest, I think he's worth it. I mean, he is a superb left back. Will he accept 3 years? 7,000 for avoiding relegation. I mean, that minimum release fee clause is really, really horrible, isn't it? 325,000. I'd be surprised if we even get through the season without him hitting that. I mean, I've got no choice here. I've got to agree to it because it's non-negotiable. Let's have a look. Can we get him down to 2,000 a week? I mean, he really was my #1 target at the start of the summer. So I really think I've got to kind of bow down to him. He's a definite League One quality left back. 2.1 a week. Let's see here. Go on, let's agree to all of that. So we've got him, unless somebody else comes in for him, which would worry me because he is definitely a high quality League One left back. But the great thing is we're getting him on a free. He's not costing us any compensation. So I think if that goes through, that is a very good deal. Alan Pritchard was another one I was looking at, who looks a very solid defender. He can play centre-back as well, though he hasn't really got those qualities. But he looks a really good left-back as well. He didn't want to come on trial. How much would he want? No, I mean, he's not interested in signing. He doesn't think we've got the money to do it. So there you go. So we've got another offer in there. Hopefully he accepts that, and that gets our left-back sorted out, at least for this season. And then we're really just looking, if Nolan comes in on the right wing, we're really just looking at a centre-back, and if we can get those loan players in just to add a little bit more quality to the squad. So things looking pretty good. I will be back whenever there is news to share. I think this is going to be a longer episode, but things looking pretty good right now. Well, transfer update, transfer confirmed. Jack Nolan is coming in, the man released from Oldham. Yeah, maybe not the sexiest of signings, is it? But it's £500 a week for like I said, a very well-rounded player. So I'm personally happy to have him in. I think he's going to work out really nicely. can play left or right wing, really versatile. Yeah, I think it's a decent signing without being a life changer. So that's good, and it's also good because another update for you is that our potential loanees from Southampton and Fulham both rejected us. I think these Premier League and Championship under 23s, I think they're looking at our facilities and not really too excited about playing for us. So that's a bit of a shame. We will keep looking, but it does seem like it's going to be difficult to get loanees in from bigger clubs with the facilities that we've got. Also, another update: Callum Simpson is now the focus of a £1.7 million offer from West Brom. So again, it's with no future fees, but it is 1.7 million. So yeah, hopefully with that money we can start upgrading the facilities and maybe get a little bit of money in to actually bid for some players and bring in some actual club to club transfers rather than the free transfer market. So we'll have to see about that. There you go. I mean, I think the fans are kind of reacting as I am. A C to Jack Nolan coming in. Yeah, it's not the most sexy of signings, but there you go. He can definitely offer something. So we'll see how he goes. There you go. A new man in, and I am now just about to get into our pre-season fixture against Hearts. Again, I'll be back when there's a little bit more to tell you about new transfers. Well, here we go then. Callum Simpson has signed for West Brom for 1.7 million. I'm a little bit disappointed that he didn't accept the Derby deal for 1.5 plus 30% of a future sell-on profit. I think he is a player that is likely to go for a lot more in the future. We could have really done with that sell-on clause, but 1.7 is not to be sniffed at. We do lose £250,000 to Manchester City, which they negotiated with us, or I guess they had it as the developers of Callum Simpson. They get £250,000 of this fee. So in the end, we have done pretty well out of it. But yeah, I think the lack of a future fee is probably a little bit of a sickener. I would have liked the friendly as well, a good pre-season friendly to get some money in. But hey, we've made major money there. It dwarfs the 300,000 we got from QPR for James Sheringham last season. And it really does sort the finances out. And of course, we have still got Callum Simpson for this season. He is on loan to us for the entirety of the season. Nothing to pay, so it helps out the wage budget as well. And if we look at the finances, apart from the fact there's 1.2 million in the bank, which is obviously great, we've got a transfer budget of £204,000. We could, if we wanted to, really start throwing our weight around. We could even raise the wage budget up a lot, which we don't really need to do. But you can see here we have got committed spending of 27,800 a week. That is because there are some deals on the table, which I'll show you in a second. But you know what? I'm going to make some board requests while I'm here. I'm going to ask them to improve the training facilities now that we've got this money in. No, I don't want to adjust the budget. And I am also going to ask them to increase our youth level. See if we can really get our player development up and running. And apart from that, I'm actually going to ask them as well to try and I'm going to ask them to improve youth recruitment. There you go. So I'm going to try and put that money to use. Who knows if they're going to accept it. And in terms of transfers, I've got a couple of big ones on the ins. First of all, with Dylan Jones, obviously you know about. He is possibly coming in on 2,100 a week, which would be huge. But then there's also Jake O'Brien. Now, I never mentioned this guy before. he was one of that big group of players that were out of contract and I had in on trial. And then it just so happened when I learned more about him that he's absolutely the best defender of all the options I've seen this season, even better than Lee Watkins, I would say. Look at this. I mean, 14 heading, 6'2" with 14 jumping reach. He's great in the air. His marking's brilliant. His tackling's really good. And he can also pass the ball as well. 11 passing, 12 positioning, 11 decisions, 12 concentration, 13 anticipation, 13 aggression. He's just a really, really great League One centre-back. He's just been released by Southend, played 24 League One games last season. I think this is a fantastic capture as long as nobody else comes in for him. But he is going to come in as our highest paid player, 2,700 a week. Would blast everybody else out of the water. And that is why with these two signings we would be up just about £1,000, 1,500 a week below the wage budget limit. So yeah, two big huge signings there, but yeah, really important. And the only other thing I want to do now, if we have a look, I want to have a look at our friend in League Two. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm really screwing this up. Let's have a look down in League Two at the Notts County goalkeeper, and let's see if with our £200,000 in the bank we might be able to just tempt them. Let's have a look here. So Marco Di Benedetto, how much is it going to take to get you to AFC Rushden and Diamonds this season? He's got a value of 64,000. Now I see here he would fail to get a work permit. How can that be? How can that be? How did he get to Notts County? How did he get a work permit at Notts County? Now, that is a problem, isn't it? Yeah, a fee of 19 million would be enough. Yeah, I don't think we're really going to be able to do that. They want 275 for him. Let's go down to my 200. Let's go at 180. See what they say to that. Let's go down to 200. I'm wondering if I could sign him. And let's have a look. Not percentage of next sale. I'm going to see if I can put a clause in here that they might like. Percentage of profit. Give them 15%. Are they going to go for that? They want 25%. I can't go any higher than 200,000, can I? Let's go 20%. Yeah, they're still not budging. I'm gonna cancel that for the moment. Yeah, that work permit situation looks very difficult. I have no idea how Notts County managed to get one in. Yeah, that is a shame. Anyway, yeah, there you go. That's the big Simpson deal done. I think I'm going to leave it there. I think that's enough for today. It's been a bit of a long episode. I'm going to leave it there. It looks like we're getting those two defenders in. After that, my only plan to finish this window would be to see if we can get some real quality in on loan, perhaps. I would like a really good winger, a winger with really good crossing and some really good pace, a good rapid, nippy winger, tricky winger. I think that would round things off nicely. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this episode. I hope you enjoyed a little bit more of an in-depth look at the transfer dealings and the transfer strategy. And yeah, I will be back for the start of the season. At the start of the season, we will confirm if we got those two defensive signings, and we will look at the first game of the season and we'll see how things are looking. That's all for today. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on it, click subscribe, and maybe just help us grow by sharing on social media. I will see you very, very soon for the start of Season 10 here on Dog Turds into Diamonds.